And we're gonna go live. And we're gonna go live. Hey everybody, Rob Booker here. Best-selling author of Yada Yada Yada, Adventures of a Currency Trader, blah blah blah, and Trading by Faith. Welcome, super happy to be here with you on this Thursday morning. This is the best part of my day. It's my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite way to talk to you is virtually, not in person. Just kidding, that's not actually true. There's a little bit of truth to that, but not actually a lot of truth to that. We are going to be in Mexico City in January. So if you live anywhere Spanish speaking, we are doing an entire conference in Spanish. Why? Because I'm a nutcase. We're also going to do one in English sometime next year. I'll give you all the details and let you know. All right, I want to talk about something super important. Becoming a crazy, goal-oriented, successful trader and human being. So brand new presentation. Brand new training here on YouTube and Facebook and Periscope and Twitter. And it's all training, no fluff. Here's the agenda for our next 10, 15, 20 minutes together. I'm going to teach you a simple trading system, and then I'm going to rant. And then I'm just going to shout to the rooftops about some stuff that really bothers me and is really important. All right? So I don't know how to move these slides forward. I want to be able to, it's a long story. Just, humor me. Who this presentation is for. So just read through some of these items. People who want to become more successful and are willing to do whatever it takes. Is that you? Who this presentation is not for. Lazy-minded people. So I'm going to give you a minute. If you're a lazy-minded person, or if you want someone to do everything for you, or if you feel like you are a victim and that you are owed something in life, like get out. Get out. We don't have any room for you here. We don't have room for you here. Let's do slideshow here, and let's just put this thing on the big screen. Now we're talking. Wow, that is pretty crazy. I don't know how to. Okay, let's learn a crazy, simple trading system. I'm going to call it Ride the Lightning. I don't know why I'm calling it that, but I am. All right, here we go. So one of the greatest rock and roll albums of all time, Metallica's Ride the Lightning. You can only listen to that one time before your heart rate goes over 160. All right, here's a chart. Because it's a white background, it's going to be a little bit difficult to see, but that's the way it is. So just bear with me while we look at a few charts. Here in green is a weekly pivot. A weekly pivot is last week's high, low, and close added together and divided by 3. I'm not going to go deep into that because you have the internet, because you can do your own research, because you have a brain, most of you. I'm just kidding, joking around. I'm just joking. Don't want to offend anybody that's brainless. And then here at the bottom is the average directional index set to 14. Now the average directional index was created, I think it was 2 members of the Starship Enterprise, Spock and Zulu, and they went off in a room together, and then they came back out, and their love child was the average directional index. A higher average directional index indicates illogical behavior. No, it indicates that a trend has taken control. The madness of crowds have set in, euphoria and delirium, and that the trend is strong. The trend is strong with that one. The midichlorians are strong with that trend. And then if the average directional index is low, then basically it's a rock and roll artist after his second album doesn't hit, and he's basically just taking drugs and sitting around on the couch all day. Here again, this is the Euro-British pound. This is a weekly pivot, and this is the average directional index. Now, what I'm going to take it a step further here, and what I want to do is I want to share with you what I'm looking at. If price misses a weekly pivot, so if a weekly pivot pops up, price drops below it, and doesn't hit that weekly pivot during the week, it's missed, and price is traveling down. If at the same time and over that same period, the average directional index is high, over the barrier of 27, then the trend is strong, delirium has set in, euphoria, craziness, wild behavior, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. That means there's a trend. Here's another chart. Here's a weekly pivot in green. Price was moving up and the weekly pivot was missed. It's untouched. It's pristine. It's delightful. It's beautiful. But it was missed. And that means if the average directional index was high at that time, that means that price was going up, and people were like, yeah, price is going up, yeah. And they were like, yeah, show me. And so they're just going crazy for the trend. And it means that price was going up and people were delirious. And we want to, frankly, we want to take advantage of delirious people. Okay, we don't want to take advantage of them. I don't mean to say it that way, but we kind of want to take advantage of them. I mean, I'm kind of tired of beating around the bush. Look, if people are going to be idiots, then let's take advantage of that. Then let's give the money to charitable causes to relieve ourselves of the guilt that we feel for being successful. I mean, why are you going to feel guilt for being successful? Enough already. Anyway, the average directional index is showing delirium, and price is moving upward and missing a weekly pivot, and boom, boom, price goes up. All right, that seems reasonable enough. Here's another example. This is Stitch Fix. Hey, look, I got my box right here. I'm a customer. So I not only like the stock, I never opened the box on time. So I'm supposed to open the box within 3 days. But I put it under a little tree over here, and then I wait for it. Anyway, I'm a customer. Misses a weekly, I actually bought it here. Misses a weekly pivot. The average directional index is showing delirium. So we ride the lightning. That's the lightning. Boom shakalaka. We might ride that lightning for 4 weeks. And during that 4 weeks, we're working out, we're doing the cardio, we're staying strong mentally so that we don't trick ourselves, getting out of the trade. Here's Groupon, weekly pivot. Boom. Groupon's a garbage stock, really, just a garbage stock. But here's an example of riding the lightning when you get electrocuted. Weekly pivot is missed, price is traveling lower, and the ADX is high, showing delirium. And let's say we start selling this bad boy using whatever tools we have at our disposal. Might buy a put. We might just short the hell out of it. Heck out of it. And then what does price do? Price just kind of goes sideways. Lame. I know I'm allowed to draw on this chart with PowerPoint. Oh, there we go. Pen. I don't know. And then price just goes sideways. This price was at $4.30 when this happened. And price just went sideways. There wasn't enough delirium. I mean, this would be garbage. This is not a great trade. This is not a great example. Just for the record, though, if you held on to this trade, price is now under $3. So I guess in the end, everything went fine. Here's another final example. Let me move over here. Or here, I don't know how to do the moonwalk. I was going to move slowly this way, that it appeared that I was on like a roller. Okay, crude oil. This is not tradable with this system, so don't combine lightning and oil. Misses a weekly pivot as it's going up. The ADX is high, but it's just not high enough. You have to have a really, really high ADX when a pivot is missed to ride the lightning or the trend lower. I'll just leave you to that. Listen, you're smart. I'll leave you to it. Oh, one more example. This is Ethereum. I actually bought this. I made like $10 though, because I didn't ride the lightning. I didn't do it. So weekly pivot is missed as price is going up. ADX is out of control, showing delirium. I don't know why I like doing that, but it's showing delirium and price just travels all the way up. All right, so that's a system. Simple, right? I could probably focus on that all year next year. I could probably do that only next year. I mean, plus the robots. But that could be it. That could be the whole thing. That could be the entire thing that I do next year. It might be the only thing I do next year. So if a pivot is missed and the ADX is low, below 27, it's not a trend. It's garbage. Don't care. If a pivot is missed and the ADX is high or above 27, then it's a trend. Ride the delirium, or the lightning in this case. So that's the system. It works fine. It's enough. It'll do the work. It'll do the job. It's fine. I mean, we spend these, I talked about this yesterday, but we spend this time as beginning traders and we're just obsessed with finding the perfect system, right? It's kind of like Jerry Seinfeld trying to find the perfect woman, or people that are terrible at dating trying to find the perfect person. My wife has this great podcast episode that just went up, and it's called does your soulmate really exist, or do you have a soulmate? You can look her podcast up. Her first name is Nikki, N-I-K-I, Booker. Just look her up on iTunes or Google Podcasts or whatever. And it's a great podcast, and it talks about the fact that you find somebody that you're compatible with and that will do the work and that you're attracted to, and then that'll do the job. Like, you don't have to be obsessed with this fairy tale notion of, relationships or whatever else. And that's how it is with traders and systems, that we get into this fairy tale mode where we're like living in Beauty and the Beast, and we're looking for the perfect system, but maybe all we have is the beast. Maybe that'll do. Maybe that'll do. That'll do, donkey. So if a system is so easy to learn, I'm standing in front of it. Why are so many people so terrible at trading? I mean, put that in your smoke and pipe it, right? Why are so many people so bad at this? Well, they're lazy. I mean, this is number one. Number one. Numero uno. People are lazy. I've been pretty lazy in my life. Number two, let's change the color of this pen. There we go. They're also disorganized. This is me for a huge part of my life. But recently I got my shiz together, got my office all organized, got my office all cleaned up, got my office all put together. Also, people are scatterbrained. They're trying a lot of different things. They're switching channels on the remote. Like, oh, new system, new system, new system, new indicator, new system, new indicator, new system. Holy Moses. So people, this is the competition in the world of trading, right? Now, I know Lance Armstrong was humiliated and, he was found out, right? He was caught. But this guy has a savage mindset. You can say what you want about his, honesty and competition. This guy was savage. This guy, you don't want to be up against this guy with the rules being fair or not fair, him cheating or not cheating. Like, you don't want to be up against that guy. That guy is, you do not want to be up against his mind. He will not back down from a challenge. That guy beat the worst kind of cancer that I can imagine having. Or you can be like Beavis and Butthead, right? You can be lazy and sit around all day and and you can just, smoke your way into oblivion. Or you can smoke the competition. So this is my new obsession, as many of you know, is maybe learning to be more hyper-competitive. I was thinking about living next year in a hyper-competitive mode and then writing a book about how I went from collaborative and friendly and always the nice guy and always the guy that you could basically depend on to come through for everybody, and then maybe go into hyper-competitive mode and maybe interview dream come true Jocko Willink, right? Well, that would be the greatest thing ever. I'd pay somebody $1,000 if they could book Jocko Willink as a guest on the podcast. I mean, probably more than that. Maybe become, and then write a book about how it changed my life to become hyper-competitive and hyper-focused. It's not a popular way to think about doing things, but man, we're going to go through a market crash in the next 12 months. People are going to lose their jobs. The economy is going to go into the tank. You want to be ready for that, or do you want to not be ready for that? I want to be ready for it. So don't ask what you could do, ask what you have to do. So here's another comparison, right? There's Liam Neeson, who must save his daughter, and then there is a college student who doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do, and he feels, I mean, not all college students are like this. I certainly wasn't like this. Who feels entitled, who feels like everything should be free, everything should be easy, there should be no competition between people, all the outcomes in life should be fair. That's ridiculous, right? That's ridiculous. He knows life isn't fair, and he's going to take advantage of that. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not gonna kiss him or anything. So my goal next year is to get 100 traders that I've never met before, or maybe traders that haven't been doing well, to make $100 a day within the next 12 months. Consistently. That's my obsession, right? And I'm going to have to, that's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. That's a large group of people doing something that most people can't do. Most people can't make $1 a day. Most people can lose $100 a day. So how does that happen? I'm going to teach focus, and ultra super competitive responsibility. Ultra responsibility, ultra personal accountability. And these are the two books that are going to make up our study. So Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. He's a very controversial individual. This book rocked my world. And then Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership. Basically taking responsibility for our lives. You want these books? Go get them. Go get them. Okay. Does that sound interesting to anybody? I mean, you could do this program on your own, right? You could do this by yourself. That sounds interesting to me. What would your life be like if you were doing that, if you were having those consistent days? What would your life be like? I think about what my life would be like if I was ultra competitive, ultra responsible, ultra accountable, riding the lightning, right? Okay, so I'll tell you what your life would be like. It would be friggin' awesome. It would be amazing. All right, here's what it would take for you to accomplish that. Number one, extreme ownership and responsibility. You can't be a victim. You got to take responsibility for the way your life is. You can't blame other people in your life. You can't blame the people that have let you down. You can't blame the things that have gone wrong. You have to take responsibility. As bad as it is, and as much, it might be someone else's fault, but it's your responsibility. That's what I tell my kids. That's what I tell myself. I never tell that to my wife, because it's my fault and my responsibility. Anyway, no, she's the greatest. But that was just a joke. That was a joke about marriage. Ha ha. All right, here we go. The next thing that it would take is a daily routine. And you got to be savagely on that daily routine. Good or bad, you got to be on it. And I think that we've got to get to the point where we understand and accept that as short as it is or as long as it is, there's got to be something you're going to do daily. You've got to show up for work. Number three, a team and accountability. Changing the way that I chat with traders in my membership program because I want to have longer format conversations, and I want to be able to, for everyone to post their results and show their accountability. And last, you're going to need ongoing training. You know, like how we're going to take advantage of stuff. Okay, so that's what the next 12 months is going to be like for me. I'm Rob Booker. You know I'm Rob Booker. I don't know who you are, but I'd like to get to know you. You can find more information about the program that I'm running next year and me at robbooker.com. I love the crap out of you. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for liking the videos on Facebook. Thanks for all your comments on Facebook. If you've got other ideas for books or materials on ownership, responsibility, competitiveness, anything like that, I want to hear about it. Have the best day ever, everybody. Love you all. Bye for now. Can't do it. Can't do it. Don't know how to do it. Nope, doesn't work.